Hot off of the breakdown of Ethan's video where his mom talks about a text message that she sent Moses. Wasn't really, I mean, like, listen, it was a little intense. Here's my perspective, right? First and foremost, I think that Ethan saying I'm done with Trisha, he should have been done with her after that. The title here, I'm not talking about Trisha. I get it. It's like a, hey guys, we're not talking about Trisha in this episode. Still feel like they were using her name for a little bit of, like, you know, grab. And then another video, what did my mom text Trisha? You know, obviously at this point we know that we're using Trisha's name. Now, my understanding is that they recorded this beforehand and a bunch of other stuff, but at the end of the day, if you're done with Trisha, this should have been the last video talking about Trisha to be made. Right? That's what it should have been. That's just on principle. And I go through the principle on the video about Ethan, you can go watch that. However, what was said in this 20-minute, we watched, it's an hour and a half long podcast, we didn't watch that. It's too much for me. The 20-minute clip was basically what was sent to Moses. Was the mom saying if the stress that Trisha is giving Ethan and Hila causes them to have a miscarriage, like, I'm going to be angry, something along those lines. I feel it was justifiable. Trisha was absolutely playing a fucking game, overly stressing Ethan and Trisha, and Hila. While they were trying to have a baby and they were using in vitro or something along those lines, you know, fertility treatments because they're having trouble having a baby. And the mom said it to Moses, I'm assuming to reduce the blow, right? So like if I tell, let's say I have an issue with my mother-in-law, right? And I'm like, oh, my mother-in-law, her feet stink and she always comes in my house and takes off her shoes. I probably wouldn't say that to my mother-in-law, right? I would go to my fiance and I would say, your mother's feet are fucking disgusting. Get that motherfucker to get her feet to take care of her shit, right? And then my fiance would interpret that message in the most palatable way. So she'd be like, hey, Mom, maybe when you come over, you could put your feet in a garbage bag. You know what I'm saying? But I think that was the to give the mom the benefit of the doubt, to give Ethan's mom the benefit of the doubt. I think that's what she was trying to do. She said it to Moses so that it would be like the most palatable. And it's about Moses' sister, so it should be more empathy, right? But anyway, Trisha got really upset 3 days, I guess 2 days, technically, 21, I don't know, 2-3 days after, she said no more enemies, which was her saying no more drama. She released another video saying, confronting, oh wait, that's a different video. I'm not staying silent on this. Ethan Klein, H3, and Ethan's mom. Of course. Now, to Trisha's credit, listen, fan theory, Trisha watches my videos. And you want to know why I think that Trisha watches my videos? First of all, before I was banned on TikTok, I had videos that had hundreds of thousands of views. There's no way she didn't see them. But I think she's starting to watch these videos because look at how long it is. 11 minutes long? What? Listen. Her other videos are so long. It is, look at this, addressing things is 42 and a half minutes, or 42 minutes and 50 seconds. I constantly say, oh my God, you could say these so much more quickly, but what does she do? She takes freaking forever. Pretty sure she's watching my videos and she's learning. So thank you, Trisha. Because frankly, as much as I love talking about the drama, I said this in the other video, I don't like it enough to talk about every single day. You know what I mean? I like talking about it, a couple of bursts of a few videos, and then not talking about it for like 3 weeks to a month. But here we are. This is like the millionth video in a week. Yeah, Ethan and I were also mutuals on my old TikTok account, so check this out. Anyway, let's get into this video, because now I'm just fucking talking to talk.
Been trying to stay offline for the past week, but obviously...
What are you talking about? You made a video yesterday. You made 2 videos. What are you talking about? Trying to stay offline.
I do read things. I do read comments. Things are sent to my email.
I'm surprised you could read.
To my text message.
Babe?
I really just want to make this video because the lies just continue. I thought, okay, there'll be a lie here.
What's with her eyes? Did she get like? She looks like she got some kind of like Botox. Did she get Botox in her eyes?
A lie there, and it's just like, you know, they always say best to not engage, and I do agree. So this is my last video to Ethan and the Kleins and his mother. First and foremost, today they put up an episode where the mother
The mother.
proudly,
The mother. Not Ethan's mother. The mother. Like a fucking bad guy from a video game.
and still stood by her text message to me, was that if someone miscarries, that she would blame
Who's someone? If Hila.
Moses.
Yeah, if Hila miscarries because you're stressing her out, it's your fault. You're going ballistic. This isn't like normal drama. You're fucking bombarding them with hundreds of responses through videos and messages, of course, and you're making up lies. You go on every single time you go on someone's podcast, you go on it just to talk Trish about talk Trish about Ethan. Talk shit, talk Trish. It's the same thing. That's the same word now. You just go on there to talk Trish about people. So, of course, yeah, stop being a stressful fuck. Deal your shit privately. But you can't, because you just want people to think you're a good person. You're not.
For putting stress on her. And Ethan said, I actually agree with that.
Me too. I agree.
By that logic, which miscarriages are the majority of the time an embryo defect, a genetic defect.
Stress can be a factor. Let's
By
see.
that same logic, how come Ethan isn't held to that same standard?
Because he's not going fucking ballistic. He's responding to your insanity, and he responds to it 5% of the time. Like, honestly, you know, like you'll make 40 videos about him, and he'll make one concise response, and then you go ballistic.
Continuously engaging, not only engaging, but harassing the person that's suing him. Not only is Ethan getting sued, but now
Wait, what?
the family's podcast.
There's a difference between responding to drama and cultivating drama for no fucking reasons. It's okay, well, his responses are more concise than her. So, like, keep it to yourself, Trisha. Don't, stop talking about his lawsuits. We're talking about your drama. Your constant bombardment drama.
Podcast is getting sued, and his wife's company, Hila's company, Teddy Fresh, is getting sued. How is that, like, continuously having his pregnant wife sitting next to him while he's...
And you want to know what else? Not only is the drama that you're pushing onto them more intense, but you're supposed to be family. So you should be more empathetic to this.
combating all these people, just attacking person after person, including the first one about me and Keemstar, which had nothing to do with him.
Everything to do with him. You didn't stop bringing him up constantly. What are you talking about? This is what I'm talking about, gaslighting
All of
bullshit.
this because I went on a podcast.
And talk shit about Ethan. And you've done that constantly. This was just the only one he responded to because it's Keemstar and he felt betrayed.
That text message was before any of this all happened.
So then why are you melting down now? If this is before anything else happened, why are you having a meltdown now?
To Moses, and that's why Moses decided to disengage with at least her. She has no relation to Moses. That's
No
his
shitting,
sister's
no
mother.
shitting.
There's no relation.
Okay.
She tweeted. She constantly called me. Harassed me on Family's podcast and then on Twitter. And
She sent 2 tweets on Twitter, you fucking idiot. You send what are you talking about? You send 10 to 15 tweets about a person every single time you engage, and you're saying harassing? Well, if she's harassing you, then what are you doing to her? What are you doing to everybody else? You're delusional.
I finally stood up for myself, and I said, you need to stop talking. What you say is absolutely disgusting. She tweeted something along the lines of can't wait to go to the wedding. Nah, she was never invited.
Bro, that's funny. And I know she was probably invited, so shut the fuck up. You're an idiot. If you expect me to believe that you didn't invite her, then you're a moron. Shut the fuck up.
Not only did she text Moses that, she texted other
She called
people in
Donna
Moses'
Satan.
family that.
I'll prove it.
I'm so sick of seeing you. I'm like,
What'd she text? Hila that? No kidding.
sorry, privately recording a conversation in his house. No, we both agreed to record a podcast.
No. It's different. 2 different things. You privately recorded the podcast in bad faith. Just release it at this point, Trisha. Just release it. Give us something to talk about.
Sorry, I'm shaking.
I don't care.
He asked me to come record a podcast to promote Frenemies merge.
No, he didn't. There's no way. I don't believe that. Because not only did Ethan say something different, but if he did it for the Frenemies merch, there would have been Frenemies merch there. It doesn't make sense. What Ethan said, and I tend to believe him, was that he did it to try to hash things out, and then maybe they would make one final Frenemies episode to just kind of make peace. But then she was being a fucking ballistic, going off the rails, and not apologizing for what she did wrong, and she was trying to blame everything on Ethan, which is what she's been doing from the start. She doesn't take accountability for herself.
In the podcast, he admitted to lying about a lot of things he said in his videos.
Nah,
Or he said
not really.
misunderstanding, which is
Not really. He already admitted to all those things in another episode, and we like for one, he was like, "Yeah, Trisha never explicitly said to fire the cast, but I know Trisha, and like that's what she meant." And I believe him because for whatever reason, he gives you the benefit of the doubt more than anybody else. It's bonkers. It's off the fucking wall. It's off of the fucking wall.
I was ready to at least have that out there, and I recorded it.
So let's release it.
We were being recorded. It wasn't private conversations.
I doubt it.
It was
just release your recording.
Had no problems putting out the entirety
Release the
of the
recording.
podcast from me having psychotic breakdowns.
So what are you talking about, bro? Dude, so like, no offense, stop having a psychotic breakdown. Like, I know that you're going to be like, you're invalidating people with like disability. Not really. I know a lot of people with different issues, and like when they do have their breakdowns, it doesn't last 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like she has like a rough breakdown and then says I need to go and then like leaves and then they talk about it the next time, because we would be wholly empathetic to that. If that last time like everything happened the exact way that it did, and then the next episode they got together and they both like talked about it and it was like cordial and nice and everything, I would have been like, oh, I understand. I think Trisha deserves a break. It's okay to have like a mental breakdown every once in a while. As long as you like hold yourself accountable for what you did while you had that breakdown. But that's not what happened. She extended it until now, like a month, 2 months. How fucking long has it been since they ended frenemies? So like, it's not, the mental breakdown is irrelevant to what happened. You're a bad person using the mental breakdown to justify being a bad person. Because good people that have mental breakdowns and are unjustifiably rude to other people, they apologize after the fact. And a lot of people have reached out to me and be like, yeah, you know what? I have some episodes like Trisha does, but very quickly I realized that it was my fault, and I apologize to the people that I did that to, etc., etc. So, like, you're full of shit. You're just trying to use a potential mental issue you have, because we can't even confirm it, because apparently your doctor only said you had the markers of bipolar, so we don't even know if you actually have it. Nobody trusts you to actually take your word for it. But you're just using a mental disability you're weaponizing it to make people feel bad for you.
And I knew he wasn't going to put the entirety of this out because Ethan is a coward.
Okay.
And
it means nothing coming from you.
All these excuses. His employee,
that sounds like
his
you.
Wife, his mom. He hides behind people because he's a coward, so he hides
Trisha.
behind other people.
I'm bored.
So I knew he would edit it. There was no. I didn't watch the video, so I don't know
Ethan definitely doesn't really edit his videos. They're like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. It's fucking incredible.
the course of this.
Not in a good way.
But I keep seeing blackmail.
Oh God.
No one ever threatened to put anything out. I recorded it because if he put out a podcast, which has been done, Gabby edited a podcast and left very important things out.
So release it.
My own self. I'm someone who's
suffers. So release it.
Delusions and not.
You are fucking delusional.
Knowing what reality is, and I wanted to hear back everything. Delusion. I did it for my own self. I'm someone who suffers from delusions and not knowing what reality is.
I like how she'll say that she suffers from delusions and not understanding reality when it comes to a narrative that supports her claim, right? So, like, I recorded it in case he removed stuff, but she won't acknowledge this factor that she's delusional when it comes to, like, the way that she's wrong in a situation.
And I wanted to hear back everything because people constantly tell me what I say, and I want to hear it back for myself. Okay. I recorded the podcast I did with you. I record any podcast. If we're both know we're being recorded, I record it. There's no blackmail. There's no putting it out. Ethan outside of...
I like the language. She says, we both know we're being recorded, so I record it. She's not saying that she has consent to record the podcasts like privately. What she's saying is that because they both consented to a podcast recording, she feels that that's a justifier for her to record it herself individually.
Fear. He sent a hate train my way starting Sunday. The minute he knew, I just even went on Keemstar's podcast, not even knowing what was discussed.
I hate this. Every time that she gets called out for doing something shitty, she's like, they sent me hate. You didn't get any hate sent. You're just, people don't like you. Like, do you know that there's a difference? This is something that even I've struggled with. So maybe I'll give her a little bit of a break. You know, like I said, like I had a fairly large TikTok platform. And like as you get bigger, you get criticized for more things. And some of it's unjustifiable. I think in Trisha's case, most of it isn't, but... Some of it's unjustifiable, and then some of it is justifiable. But as you keep getting like unnecessary hate or unjustifiable hate, it starts to blur the lines between what is and isn't justifiable hate. So I understand that because I've been there too, and like I feel like I've been able to like part the air, part the clouds, and actually figure my shit out. And that was really only because I got banned, honestly. So it's probably a good thing that I was banned from TikTok. But I forgot what I was saying. But just shut up, Trisha.
In which I defended.
Oh right, but like it's justifiable.
I defended Hila and other women that Keemstar has come.
Is it Hila or Hila? I thought it was Hila. Because part of me feels like she's saying it wrong on purpose. Like she knows who Hila is, right? I think it's Hila. The H is silent, because Jewish people can't pronounce their H's. It's pronounced Hila, I-L-A, right? Hila, right? I think she's saying it. Mama Gut the other day, she's like, we were talking about Trisha, and she's like, how do you say Hila? And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Hila, like E-L-A or I-L-A, Hila, E-E-L-A. And she's like, why the fuck does she always say Hila? And like and she was like, do you think that she's doing it on purpose just to be like a passive aggressive bitch? Because it's such a weird thing to focus on. Like imagine be like, well, no, it's actually Hila. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that's so small. And it's irritating to somebody. Like if it's probably irritating to Hila. But like it's hard to correct somebody on such a small thing because you don't want to feel like you're doing too much, I think she knows, and she's just doing it to be passive aggressive.
Come forward based on looks. I think it's disgusting. I went on Ethan's podcast, and Hila's H3 podcast. I haven't said anything about Hila through all this because I actually don't have any issue with her, but also
I don't care. Shut up.
Also out of respect for her pregnancy, but she does sit next to Ethan and condone all this stuff, including the first episode that I went on their podcast.
You called her a bitch and a bad mom. Like you want to sit in here and tell me that you've never gone after her? Shut up, bitch.
Where I confronted Ethan about making fun of my looks and other female presenting.
Bro, he made a video like 3 years ago about how Instagram people touch their bodies up to make them look better than they are, and he apologized for being mean to you. Shut the fuck up. You just let it go. If somebody actually apologizes, let it go. But you never do. You talk about how he never apologizes. He's constantly apologizing. Oh my lord.
And female looks. I was female at the time, but I'm female presenting now.
There's nothing to turn the video up. Sorry, guys.
They both thought it was still okay, and said it was a joke. So
yes, it was a joke, and then they apologized. Dumbass. Fucking shut up. Jesus sneezes.
Podcast came on, and there was he called me a hypocrite for going on her podcast because I disagreed with him. I disagreed with Ethan. I made a ton of videos about how I can't.
Dude, he did it because like, you're supposed to be family and you're supposed to like love each other, honestly, and that's what he expects. I think Ethan is like a little bit of a bleeding heart. Ethan is, as much as I may disagree with him on some things, he is a genuinely nice person, and like he has particular core values where he's like, like for instance, he didn't do a podcast with Gabby Hanna because it would have upset you, even after you tried to ruin his life by his own words and honestly by my own interpretation as well. He didn't go on and have a podcast with Gabby Hanna, but you did it with Keemstar because you're not loyal. These hoes ain't loyal. I think I'm giving Ethan too much credit. I think you guys hate. I can't speak correctly today. I think you guys hate Ethan more than he deserves. He's a little bit of like a fucking social justice warrior, but like I think he's a genuine person. I think you guys should try to separate good people from disagreements. You know what I mean? Like just because somebody doesn't agree with you doesn't make them a fundamentally bad person. I think if you look at Ethan's like moral foundation, you could look in there and you could see that he's a good person. Doesn't mean he's not flawed. Everybody is. You guys can criticize Ethan about his shit. I do too. But then there's people who criticize me for my shit as well. Doesn't make me a bad person. It just means sometimes we're not always clicking on all the same things, I
ever went on an H3 podcast, and in my opinion, I do believe Ethan has changed. I don't think he.
No, you don't. Shut up.
Degrades women or anybody based on looks anymore.
So then, why the fuck did you bring it up? You're like, he's always making fun of women's looks, blah blah blah, and now you're saying that he doesn't do that anymore. So like, you're just being ridiculous.
I guess Keemstar, he did body shame, and Keemstar on that podcast admitted.
Bro, Keemstar was wearing a fucking shirt in the pool. And not even a regular shirt. He was wearing a goddamn jersey and a fucking baseball cap. How are you not supposed to criticize that? That's insane. Who does that? It's one thing to wear like a white shirt in the pool. I get people who wear shirts in the pool. I'm fat as fuck. I mean, I don't do that because I'm very handsome, but I get it. But like, you can fucking wear a jersey in the pool. It's like if LeBron James just was in a pool. I don't know why LeBron James, a just famous basketball player in a jersey, but you get my point. Like, why?
That takes on mental health, and then a few days later, apologized to SA victims, not only me, but Gabby Hanna went on the podcast and Tana Mojo. Those episodes are not out yet. And he said having those guests on, talking, because we've all been victims of SA, and talking about what it's like because he's never experienced it, he's beginning to understand it better and how poor his takes were.
No, you're dumb. The fact that you believe that blows my fucking mind. I watched Keemstar's video apologizing for his really inappropriate remarks about people who were the victim of sexual assault. He made a mocking joke out of the girl who claimed that she was assaulted by, I think, Jake Paul or Logan Paul. And I've been consistent. It seems difficult to prove. If you don't feel that you have enough evidence to believe it, I understand that. For sure. I get it. You know, we as a society, we need to maintain the ideology of innocent until proven guilty. But he didn't say, like, oh, like, it's hard for me to believe because I don't have all the evidence. He was like, I don't believe it. It's probably not true. And then made a joke about how she was sexual. Like, how can you get fucked in the mouth? Haha. And, like, was laughing about it. And then the framing was, this time was like, I was just asking questions about sexual assault. No. He was being manipulative. He was gaslighting people. He was never just asking a question. He was being derogatory and diminishing. And he got called on it. And then he decided to try to manipulate the narrative. I have a video on here. It's called Keemstar's disingenuous or dishonest apology to survivors. You can look it up on YouTube. It's bullshit. I show everything.
And I know a lot of people are like, we don't care, we just hate them. And people just love to villainize people and not allow anyone to grow. But I go on there to talk about my stuff, to talk about my story, involving everyone.
You didn't really talk about any sexual assault, I'm pretty sure.
I made a decision to disengage from trauma, but these are gross lies, and the harassment is nonstop.
Oh, shut up. You're getting harassed because nobody likes you.
Moses' private life, private records of Moses being brought up on the H3 subreddit, that is complete doxing. So
what? Bringing somebody up isn't doxing. Somebody exposing where you live and personal information is doxing. What are you talking about?
Ethan and Hila can no longer say that it's my fans too. No, this is on the H3 Reddit, all of this doxing.
God, shut up.
Donna proudly admitting that she will still blame me and Moses.
No, just keep in mind, she wasn't blaming Moses. She said to Moses that if Hila has a miscarriage, because she's had miscarriages before, they've had trouble having kids, that he would blame Trisha. Think about this. The kid is like a fucking year old. This happened a year ago. Like, shut the fuck up.
I don't want to say it. The fact that she even texted that is so gross, because not only is it personal, put that aside.
They released Moses' ex's name on Reddit. Oh, okay. That's public information. It's so weird. I hate when people call it doxing when, like, they just have their public accounts linked to, like, a private account.
But it's
he's been married twice. Oh, that just makes her look. That's just embarrassing. Moses has been married twice. I mean, like, okay, that's kind of embarrassing. I mean, like, I suppose it's more normal now, but.
And you're perpetuating that this is.
Oh, it's the new baby that they're pregnant with? Okay, that's my bad. My mistake. Either way, I think it's justifiable because she was dogpiling.
The common reason for miscarriage, and other people who miscarry will have that on them. That, oh, maybe I was too stressed. Maybe it was this.
Yeah. Yes.
When there are multiple reasons that it could happen. So.
Wow. There's multiple reasons anything could happen. Right? There's 100 different reasons that I could have diarrhea tomorrow. But if I go out and have a fucking Chipotle burrito, it's probably the reason I'm going to have diarrhea. You know? So, like, you adding an additional stressor isn't going to help. Especially since how frustrated they were.
That's it.
Okay.
It's my final message, my final statement. I'm just so.
You're only halfway through the video, so I guess it's not.
One thing I can ignore comments, but the fact that this is now the third episode with my name in the title, and lies, and harassment, and sending hate mob. Like,
well, it's not lies.
They've already won.
Or harassment.
Like, I'm getting a lot of hate. They see it.
Not enough. Clearly.
They blame it on my fans. They see it. They see it on. I see it on their subreddit. It's. And the hate train keeps going because they said that they're done, but continues to put my name in the title.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that. We talked about that.
Continue spreading, like, lies and just sending hate.
Well, that part's not true.
Really just
no lies.
Punching down. I've already surrendered.
Punching down. I hate that narrative. Oh, they're punching down. Why? Because, like, you're an asshole and people don't like you? You're less popular, so it's punching down. That's not how this works. Like, if I said something outrageous and Ethan decided to make a video about me, he's not punching down. He's just talking about me. It's not punching down unless you're punching a kid in the face.
And this really is the final one. I can't imagine what other things that could be said, but I'm I'm for going on a podcast and talking about my own issues. What we called Ethan a hypocrite. He is. I'm a hypocrite. A lot of people are hypocrites, but he just can't hear that there's anything wrong. They can't see that they're ever in the wrong in anything. Even this lawsuit, which he uploaded, he uploaded a video and didn't admit to not paying it, illegally uploading it. Like, he's in the wrong, and he continues to harass this lawsuit and now family.
I don't understand. Like, what? So shut the fuck up. Like, this has nothing to do with like a moral argument, right? This whole weird lawsuit over, I think it's the Triller lawsuit, right? I'm pretty sure that's because he played a clip of a fight. I forget which fight, and it was like 6 seconds. So like, he played the clip of it, and it happened to be the whole thing. Now listen, maybe he should have to pay for it. I don't really know. I don't. But like, from my perspective, I see why he's fighting it. Because he's like, oh, this is dumb. Your fight was short. I was just showing a little clip, but the little clip happened to be your whole fight. You know? It was the Logan Paul fight, or Jake Paul. Or you guys can't even give me the right fucking name. You guys are insane. But my point is like, you're acting like he's doing something morally reprehensible by fighting a lawsuit. So they just shut up.
Isn't it Teddy Fresh? Like,
yeah, and they're suing for $50 million. Of course you're gonna fight. So maybe he's fighting to settle for like a fucking something. I don't know.
How? Because Ethan's never to blame. Who's to blame?
Oh, Jean Paul. Okay. Yeah, she doesn't understand how the lawsuit's happening and trying to use it as an argument.
Boasting that they not only do they say that, but Ethan also stands behind and also will also put that on us is like the most vile and like disgusting thing you could ever put on somebody.
I don't really think that you think that. I don't think that you truly understand what it's like to like lose a child in childbirth or rather have a miscarriage or struggle to have a kid. Well, I guess you do actually, because I think that you can have kids. Maybe you do understand. The reason I say that though is because she called them a terrible. Trisha called Ethan and Hila terrible parents for having a babysitter while they worked, and she's like, "You're terrible parents. I would be with my kid all the time." Meanwhile, her mom raised her, and like when she was 16, she supported her decision to leave and be like a stripper. She's infertile, so maybe she does understand. But like, you had a terrible mother, so that's where it's coming from. Maybe I'm misplaced on that. But like, Trisha doesn't know what it's like to be a good mom, or to have a good family raising her. You know, maybe she is just jealous of Hila for being able to have a kid and being married to Ethan, because I think that Trisha's in love with Ethan.
Because even if it's something that just physically, abnormally, genetically happened, that's on me, and that's...
Oh, maybe she does understand that. She seems to be getting very upset over this point. You know what? Maybe I'll give her a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. I think that maybe Trisha is just very upset by this because she doesn't want to be like the reason that the baby passes. So like, this is the problem, is like trying to empathize with this fucking insane monstrosity. But like, I think that Trisha is feeling very upset because she doesn't want to be the cause of the passing of the baby. And like, I think that her and Moses are insane. So I think that they think that like putting things out into the universe makes them happen. Which is, I think a lot of people are gonna be like, Papa God, that's true. It's when most of the girls. And like, listen, I'm just not. My mama agrees with you, but I'm not a fucking star signer, so I don't agree with you. So I think this maybe is coming from like a genuine place. I think that's the problem with Trisha, is that she has genuine thoughts and expressions and like feelings, but she doesn't know how to express them. She doesn't know how to express like, oh, please, I don't want you to say something like that. Like, that's terrible. She doesn't know how to express her feelings of frustration, because then we wouldn't be here, because she wouldn't be having like lashing out every 2 seconds.
I surrendered. I gave up. I literally cannot do this because it's actually so it gets so personal, and it's affecting me and Moses, but also like private people that are not online, my family that's online. I'm not talking about my mom and sister. I'm talking about my family. Like, it's crossing so many lines, and we are seeing it. I'm
sorry for laughing. Somebody in my stream said, hold up, I just got a notification that Curly Daddy 101, it's a friend of mine on Twitch, is live, and he's looking really submissive and breedable. So I'm going to stop by his stream to see if he's shirtless, and I'm going to come back. Okay.
Coming from the subreddit, and it is not okay. And they won't let up. Like, the doxing happened last week. They saw it. They took it down.
You didn't get doxed. Shut up.
Can take down those posts. They took it down. They saw it. They know this is happening, and they continue to send.
Wait. So Moses, it got leaked that Moses was married twice and is probably somebody you shouldn't marry, and they saw it and took it down, and now you're still blaming them? Doesn't really make any sense to me.
Hate and harassment. They've had horrible calls happen to them. They've had horrible house visits happen to them. And that sucks. But there is a point where you have to
He's not shirtless,
look at it
I'm
and be
sorry.
like, what am I doing to also be the problem? And I've reflected, you know.
No, you haven't. Because then you would realize that you're like 100% wrong. Or maybe like 95% in the wrong. You haven't done that.
Some things are just not worth it.
It's what happens, man. When you get big and you start speaking your mind and people like that, some people take it the wrong way and doubles them like down on their confirmation bias and they go out of their way to do things that they shouldn't.
And as long as someone keeps engaging in the drama, whether that's for views, for fun, whatever, if you're engaging in drama and you are consistently trying to bring someone down, when they've either already apologized, they've taken accountability.
You haven't done any of those things! You haven't done any of those things at all. That's the problem.
Victims have accepted apology. Like, if you continue to do it, then you're just an asshole, you're harassment, you are bullying. And that is the only time that I feel like anyone should ever be deplatformed.
Wait, so Trisha actually just ended that video by basically saying that she thinks that Ethan should be deplatformed. I don't know if you caught that, but like
if you continue to do it, then you're just an asshole, you're harassment, you are bullying. And that is the only time that I feel like anyone should ever be deplatformed.
Wow, she actually wait, that's really shitty. Wait, she just said that she thinks that that Ethan should be deplatformed. Wow. All right, that was a little too cringy. Anyway, great ending, Trisha. Can't wait to see what we have to say in like another day because you know you're not gonna like last that long.